Wei Renlong shouted angrily, "Boy, you first bullied my sister's black dragon horse, and then cut off my sister's hair. I want to avenge my sister." Xiaoxie said quietly, "Oh, my brother turned out to be like this. I forgot about it a long time ago, and now I think about it, I still have 2 heads left to pay attention to. Since you have been looking for me to get my head straightened, then it doesn't hurt for my old man to work again." After saying that, he touched and lost his body, looking serious. The Merriam-Webster brothers then thought of taking the key to open the door. Wei Renhe walked out, and soon came down with a string of keys and shouted, "Boy, you are dead." "Oh. It turns out that the monkey is still stealing the key, so I'm so tired of using my hands and feet again." He looked listlessly as the 2 brothers held a large bunch of keys, unlocking the door one by one. Careful and inquisitive like a child looking at a man as a sugar gourd. Finally the door was opened. Wei Renlong deceived himself, and the 3-foot sword was slashed at the little evil as if it had been electrified, and he struck angrily. How fast it was! "Stop!" This roar frightened the Webster brothers again, and the 2 of them were stunned, and their swords were raised in the air. Xiaoxie's roaring skill can also be regarded as a must, especially his sudden roar. Few people can escape the fate of being frightened. Xiaoxie was very satisfied in his heart, but he pretended to be lazy and said, "Isn't it a big bargain for you to kill me with such a sword? I can't fight you even if I'm seriously injured. Since you want me to die, just make me tired to death. What do you 2 think?" When he said this, he knocked the 2 brothers down. The Webster brothers were stupid at first, but the thought of stabbing him to death with a sword was too cheap for him, and it was better to be tired to death than to kill him. It must be very painful to die of exhaustion. Xiaoxie coughed dryly and said, "My inner meridians have been broken, and I won't live long. You will chase and kill me first, cut my flesh one by one, let me die without turning a blind eye. I want to go to hell to seek revenge on you." Wei Renhe shouted, "Okay, just do it." A sword has stabbed into Xiaoxie's thigh. Xiaoxie jumped behind the human dragon and deliberately fell, hitting him with his hips, and the human dragon fell forward after being hit. He shouted angrily, and reflexively stabbed his sword at Xiaoxie. Yang Xiaoxie pretended to fall from time to time, and his clothes were also scratched messily but did not hurt an inch of skin, and he kept wailing, indicating that he was injured. In this way, the 3 of them chased and killed in and out of the prison, like rats in a sports meeting, running up and down, rolling, climbing, jumping, bumping, falling, all coming. Xiaoxie had already premeditated and played with them. He first deliberately knocked the key into the dragon's hand, and then took advantage of the fall to roll on the ground to take the lock into his arms. And these 2 brothers are now a big cat chasing the little mouse, happy crooked, that will notice these little things chased about the tea kung fu. The little evil screamed, suddenly from outside the prison to the prison, and deliberately slapped the Wei brothers 2 rings on the head, in order to stimulate their anger. Sure enough, the Wei brothers were proud and were hit by the little evil again, and angrily chased the little evil to the prison. As soon as Xiaoxie saw that the ghost had succeeded, he saw that the Wei brothers' figure had reached the gate, and immediately laughed and kicked his feet against the wall, and his body was like an arrow out of the string. The Wei brothers had lost their traces of the little evil in front of them, and they wanted to reflexively pursue the little evil, but when they turned around, they already found that they had been deceived. When the little evil shot out backwards, he copied the iron door with his right hand, buckled the lock with his left hand, and took a belt, a pass, a buckle, and a lock, clean and neat in one go, and the two poor brothers of the dragon and the tiger have become prisoners. Xiaoxie pretended to have a bitter face and said, "Brother, although I am seriously injured and dying, I think that there are still a few dogs in my family that have not been killed, and I am unwilling, so you can let me go." Okay, his face was more bitter than a bitter melon. Wei Renlong said angrily, "The stinky boy is not going to open the door yet. Wait a minute, let me out, it won't be a mess." Xiaoxie3 said, "What's more serious than the random knife division? Is it because you want me to be your father? I think it is more painful to be your father than to be chaotic knife division." Wei Renlong couldn't think of anything more painful than a random knife for a while, and he was dumbfounded. Xiaoxie said, "Two heroes, you are mistaken. I am Yang Xiaoxie's elder brother Yang Daxi, who was brought here by your father to wait. What you want is my brother, not me, and my brother has died in the hands of your father a long time ago, understand?" The little evil thought that these two were Wei Yaoken's elder brothers, and they couldn't joke too much, otherwise their warm nest would be ruined in their own hands. Wei Renhu said sharply, "I don't believe it. Others say that Yang Xiaoai broke into the castle and was caught in the dungeon. Isn't it who you are?" Xiaoxie said, "You two stupid geese, stupid geese. You won't think about it with your head. If Yang Xiaoxie was killed by your father a long time ago, then I would be the emperor here every day. If I were Yang Xiaoxie, I would have slipped away and would still be here to talk nonsense with you. Stupid! Stupid!" When the two brothers heard it, they also felt that the little heresy made sense, but they were always embarrassed to admit their mistakes. The human dragon shouted, "You don't dare to flee, for fear of being killed by the guards." The little evil said, "Don't dare, don't dare, wait a minute, I'll let you out. You go and ask your father and your sister, and then come to me. Anyway, I can't escape from your palm. If you stab me to death with a sword, your father won't get the secret. See what you explain to him." Xiaoxie spoke with a straight face, first saying that he would not escape, and then he would not be able to escape if he wanted to, and then used the word secret to detain the Wei brothers, so that the Wei brothers did not dare to act rashly anymore. Ren Long thought for a moment, "That's right, if you kill him now, it's not good to make sure that he is really an important hostage of my father." He shouted, "Then why don't you let us out quickly?" At this time, Wei Yaoken's shouting was already heard outside the cell, "Brother, stop, stop." After speaking, she rushed down with a frightened expression. Xiaoxie smiled, "Big girl, your brother is playing hide and seek with me, and he actually kicked me out, so I can't go in." Wei Yaoken saw that the two elder brothers were already in prison and Xiaoxie was outside. She was startled at first, and then snickered, "Brother, you didn't ask clearly when you came back. You almost killed the wrong person, Brother Yang. He is very good, and his father also explained that he will take his place. You are really reckless." As she spoke, she took the key to the little evil and opened the cell door. The human dragon and the human tiger were also confused, and they couldn't figure out how their sister could get mixed with the prisoner, and it seemed that she was still hot, so they walked out quietly. The little evil said, "Big girl, your brother has come out, I want to go in." "Go to prison, take the door and lock it yourself. Dare to love him is already a habit, and he doesn't want to leave, and only he dares to ignore the flying dragon too in his eyes. Wei Yaokan said, "Brother Yang, I'm sorry for making you frightened, I'll find a set of clothes for you to change later, they didn't hurt you." Little Evil said, "Playing hide and seek won't hurt people, hee hee." He. The Merriam-Webster brothers blushed, but they were also inconvenienced. Wei Yaokan said, "It's good if you don't have it, otherwise my brother will be too sorry for you." She turned to her two brothers and said, "Brother, he is not Yang Xiaoxie, or the real Yang Xiaoxie, I don't hate him, because I am also at fault. Brother, you can forget about this matter." Ren Long said, "What the hell is going on? You can tell me tomorrow, let me be clear." Wei Yaokan said, "Here's the thing, Yang Xiaoxie went to the castle to make trouble, and was chased by his father and fell into the snake pit, and then this brother Yang came to find his younger brother, and his father left him behind, afraid that this feud would get deeper and deeper, and let him understand that Yang Xiaoxie died by himself, hoping to resolve this grudge, but brother Yang never believed that Yang Xiaoxie was dead, so he stayed here. She didn't dare to say that she gambled here every day, nor did she dare to say that the grudge had been resolved. If it had been resolved, there would be no need to be locked up here, let alone that Yang Daxai knew that Yang Xiaoxie was dead, and if a person died, he would become an enemy. And why her father left Xiao, she doesn't understand. Just talk about it, and then talk about it if she can settle the things in front of her.